everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am finally back. It's been so long since the last video, and literally just miss building and filming for all of you. And so I'm very happy to be back. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the new year. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving if you're from that side of the world. Yeah, I missed a lot over the past few months, but I am back with another build today, and this time it is a tiny home. So the other day I rewarded myself with a tiny living stuff pack. I finished this like big assignment at work, and I told myself, okay, it's time to just chill for a bit and play and film and build, and it's been a lot of fun. As you can see, today we're building a tiny home. I've been so inspired by the stuff pack that I couldn't like take my mind off tiny homes. I've been watching videos about real life tiny homes, you know, living tiny and tiny home nation and whatnot. So yeah, I built a tiny home today. It's actually a micro home. So I used 32 out of the 32 tiles allowed for a micro home. As you can see, it's 2 stories high. I tried super hard at the start. Well, I deleted the the clips, but I tried super hard at the start to put the staircase indoors, but it's really not possible with this few tiles. So I just put it outside and I placed a roof over it so your Sims can still go up and down without getting wet if it is rainy outside. And I kind of really like how this thing turned out. So I came into this without a clue about what kind of a tiny home I'd be building. And I deleted most of the clips, but at first I was trying like different styles of like container houses with the two blocks perpendicular to each other, but it was really not possible to fit in that staircase. So I ended up with this design. I just stacked two rectangles basically on top of each other, and then I just played around with the roofing. Actually, I like how the roofing turned out in this build. I find it so interesting with all of those different angles, and you're gonna see it in a bit. I think I'm doing it right now. Yeah, I placed that rounded window from Moschino, and I feel like it gives like such a nice contrast to the otherwise very sharp lines of the build, which I absolutely loved. I also used that window from Get Famous, and I just wanted to see how it looked. So yeah, I was happy with it, which is why I continued with this build like so. So going back to the stuff pack, I super love how it turned out. Like I didn't know what to expect when they said they were going to be releasing a tiny living stuff pack, but I ended up really liking most, if not all, the build items. Like I tend to build more modern homes, so the mid-century modern furniture really fits the aesthetic of many of the houses that I build. And even if it's not that common a design in the country where I'm from, I'm really drawn to Scandinavian architecture and Scandinavian design, and I really like how all of those pieces look. And I feel like they're such versatile pieces. Like you can use them with so many other objects from the pack. Like the Get Famous ones are just perfect also, which I wasn't able to capitalize on, to be honest, in this build. So I could have used more Get Famous pieces. Other than that dining table, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I used the Get Famous mid-century modern dining table, which worked perfectly with the new dining chairs we got with Tiny Living. So as you can see, I stuck to a more neutral palette this time, which isn't really out of this world for someone like me. Like if you've seen many of my other builds, I've also used a lot of neutral colors, but usually I just have like more of a pop of color somewhere. But this time I made it more chill and calm and neutral. And so I ended up using these white walls, but they're like kind of unfinished walls, both in the interior and in the exterior. And I went with darker flooring for both the second floor and the first floor. So up in the second floor, I tried to make a bedroom with this Murphy bed, and to be very honest, I had such a hard time with this. Like I really wanted two Sims to be able to sleep in this room, and it was such a challenge because like they couldn't get to the other side of the bed. I really wanted two Sims to be able to sleep here, so I play tested it over and over and over again. And once I was able to get the position of the bed right, I decided to clutter up the space. So you see me here placing all sorts of shelving units below the on the windsills, and putting all sorts of stuff up there for your Sims to use. But when I play tested it again at the end of the whole build, I realized that they can no longer get on the other side of the bed again, which means that I had to erase um, all of these things, and I had to keep it super simple. I am keeping this part of the video still in the video because I just want to remember how pretty it was with all the clutter. But yeah, if you see the screenshots, if you check out the screenshots at the end, you're gonna see that it's super different. Like, you have the TV hanging on the wall instead of that standing TV beside the window and whatnot. But I still ended up liking the space. I really still like how this little study nook turns out. You're gonna see that I'm gonna use that screenshot a lot. I used it at the start of the video. It's all, you're gonna see it as well at the end of the video. And yeah, so it still turned out okay, even if I had to declutter the whole space, which is kind of like in line with this whole tiny living theme, isn't it? Like, you just really have to make sure that you pare down and just have the essentials, because if you don't, you're not gonna have enough space to move around. So I earlier thought that I could kind of cheat this whole thing because it's not real life and you have Sims, but yeah, I had to erase all of that just for my sim to be able to get on the other side of the bed. So I wasn't able to mention it yet, but this home is actually made for 3 sims. I made it like for a young couple and maybe like a teenage daughter, actually, a teenage daughter. So there's this tiny room downstairs for a teenage daughter. You see that you enter the home and come immediately to the kitchen. I tried to put in a dining table here, but it really didn't work out. Like, I feel like it was too narrow or too small a space. So I just put in a small armchair which your Sims can hang out in just as they arrive home. And now, as you can see, I am working on the bathroom. It is a very tiny bathroom. It's only 2 tiles big, but it is super functional. So you have a sink, a toilet, and a shower, which are all functional. Like, I play tested this over and over again as well just to make sure that it works, and it does. Gratefully, thankfully, I'm so happy. But anyway, I'm so glad that we got these showers from Discovery University. I think they're perfect for tiny homes because you can literally just plop them anywhere and your sim will be able to use them. So yeah, I think this is such an efficient use of space. Over here we have a very tiny but functional bathroom. Moving on, right now we are working on the teen's bedroom. So I use this beautiful swatch again from the new pack. I really like the colors in this pack. Like, I like how that like plum purple and the orange work together. I tried to look for a side table that would fit, and I ended up with this get to work pedestal, which I actually always use as side tables. Like, I think it's super cute and I feel like it fits the aesthetic really well. I put in that huge poster, which is basically the exact same swatch as the bed, which I love. So I just was figured that the teenage girl living in this room is kind of sporty and athletic with a few skateboards even on the wall, and is still girly with that big mirror to like look at herself and put on makeup and whatnot. So right now I'm cluttering up the kitchen. I realize I'm the type of builder who like jumps from one room to the other. But yeah, this time I'm cluttering up the kitchen. I wanted to put like a simple divider in between the refrigerator and the rest of the kitchen. So I ended up putting that island living window, which I also actually used behind the stairs. I'm not sure if you saw that yet, but yeah, I also used it behind the stairs. To clutter up this kitchen, I used SimLicy's I don't know how you call it, like the room she uploaded on the gallery with all of the kitchen clutter debug items. I found it super useful. Thank you so much, SimLicy, for going through all of those debug items for all of us and making that room for us to use. So yeah, it's so easy. I just placed it on the lot and I just dragged these cute mugs into the shelves. Like, she was able to really, like, she really took the trouble to find out which items would spoil and which ones would not, which is like God said, like, I don't have the patience to go through all of those debug items. I mean, I love using them, but to really test which one works and which doesn't, like, that takes a lot of time and effort. So thank you so much, SimLicy. If you want to use this as well, I'm gonna link it down below so that you can also use that, like, wonderful, wonderful room that was lovingly prepared for all of us. So right now I'm just putting like the finishing touches on this space. I don't know why I did the outdoor area, like the landscaping and everything, at night in the dark, but I ended up doing it this way, and I kind of really like how it turned out. Like, I like how the garden looks with this like trellis, um which is basically where I placed the dining area for your Sims. Like I said, I wasn't able to fit a dining table indoors, so I resorted to having it outdoors over here. You're gonna see me struggle with terrain paint in a bit. Like, I feel like my computer can't handle um screen recording while using the terrain tool the same time. So yeah, it looked really bad here, but then I fixed it off camera, so it should be okay in the screenshots. And I think I am nearing the end of this build. So before I go, I just want to say thank you once again for watching. If you're a new subscriber, an old subscriber, somebody who has seen how I basically disappeared for the past few months, hi. Again, I apologize, and I really hope to be back soon, but to be honest, I can't really promise that just yet. I am a graduate school student and I'm doing my thesis right now, and yeah, it's not going that well, so I really have to spend time doing it. But The Sims has always been and will always be such like a nice rest from all of the busyness of normal life. So I think I will still try to be able to build and film and relax with all of you here on YouTube. And hopefully I'll be able to do that again soon. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. This build is already available on my gallery. Just look for my EAID, which is MadisonSimm. That's like 2 M's and no space in between. So yeah, please look for it there. Hit the subscribe button if you so wish. I hope to be back sometime soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Bye!